Good morning. What's been happening the past couple of days? Well, as you've already seen, I did another jet boat because it was dirt cheap, because they do this thing called a happy hour at 9 AM and 6 PM. It's like half price, it's like only $85, and it's twice as long as the others, and I actually quite liked it better, I think. It's also more convenient because it sets off right from the middle of Queenstown as well, so it's what, 10-minute walk from the campsite down to where it started, and then it comes along all the lake here, up this river, around the corner, and then up the Shotover River for a little bit as well, and then it turns around and goes all the way back. So it's about an hour it takes. They're bigger boats, they're more powerful boats as well. What else? Well, end of the week, so I had a day off. It's been a busy week, and I also got to the next town over in Cromwell, and I thought, well, whilst I've got to go all that way, and pretty much my back tyre's on the legal limit anyway, and this rubber's original to the bike, so it's about 5 years old now, so I thought, if I've got to go all that way just to get a headlight, I might as well go the whole hog and get some new tyres as well. So I have some lovely new rubber on the front and on the back. So I have tread now, look, oh, it's lovely. It's not cheap though, this being out this part of the world. It's about $852 I think overall for just a couple of pair of tyres and a light bulb. So yeah, I thought I'd try and save a bit of money and make the tyre last as long as possible, and then end up spending double anyway. Oh well. And basically that's what's happened the last couple of days. But finally a week is up, so it's time to wave goodbye to Queenstown, and I'm going to head off down this way to Invercargill, which is pretty much as far south as you can go. There's another town like just a little bit further south called Bluff, which is as far south as you can go. And then there's the ferry across to Stewart Island and a place called Oban if you want to get further south still. I didn't know about this, but there's this thing called the Burt Monroe Challenge, and it's a few days of motorcycling events. It's just about to finish today, I think, so I've just missed it. But I did have a look on the website yesterday for ticket prices and that, and they're around $99 for each bit, so it's a bit too much for my liking and probably not something that I'd really enjoy anyway. So there's some other bits and bobs that we can do, and if we get lucky we may even see the southern lights apparently. But I did have a look at the forecast yesterday and they're not particularly powerful at the moment, so it's more than likely I won't see anything. But there is a truck museum, so I might go and see that. And it's not that far away, it's a pretty short drive day today, only a couple of hours, so let's get going. Stirling Point and Stirling Hill. It's a bit windy back there, so I've just took a bit of video and then come down into the trees to get some shelter. Yeah, this is southernmost point that you can go on mainland New Zealand, apart from Stewart Island, just across the way, which is not too far. But that's mostly for hiking people, because there aren't really any roads on that island. And I did see a bit of rain towards Invercargill way, so they could be having a little bit of a shower right now. It's getting towards 4 o'clock, so check-in should be alright if we turn up at the campsite now. Other than that, there's not too much down this way really. So yeah, I think I'd rather stay in Invercargill, which is what I'll be doing. So I'll be heading off that way now. So this is Invercargill, and you'll see a lot of houses that look like this, a bit old and run down. There's a plant coming out the chimney, that one's looking a bit old as well. There's a few newish ones around. There's a new one over there. And you'll see that everything is pretty much a single story. I think I've only seen about 2 or 3 buildings which are like office, commercial things that are multi-story. There's the odd house that's 2 stories maybe. But pretty much everything in this town is like spread out and flat. There's a 2-story house over there. This place would give Paris a run for its money with how wide its streets are. Crazy, I haven't seen roads this wide in any town or village or city that I've come through so far. Old classic Mini. Mini 1000. So Invercargill sounds a bit Scottish, doesn't it? That's because it is. There's quite a lot of Scottish heritage in this town. You know what I've just realised? How flat it is. There are no mountains and no geographical features to be seen anywhere. Which makes a change for New Zealand, because pretty much everything is mountains. There's almost no flat areas at all, it seems. So it does look somewhat strange to see all this flatness everywhere. Lots of cows looking this way. They'll probably will start making their way over in a minute. But now that we're out of town, in some bit of peace and quiet, it's cloudy, but so far not too bad on the rain side of things. But Google's been wrong every day so far in the last couple of weeks, so why change a bit of a lifetime? But anyway, yes, Dunedin is the destination today, a couple of 100 kilometres, about the same as what it was the other day. It's another short day today. Take our time, unless this rain does appear at some point, but it looks pretty good over in that direction. Yeah, and we're also heading north as well. Can't go any further south anymore. We ran out of New Zealand. It was only sea after Bluff. So yeah, the slow winding road back to Auckland and then on to Australia. One thing that I did look up last night, because I was talking to another guy, this was about 2-3 days ago now, and he mentioned that there's a new Tenere coming out, the Tenere 700, so I was actually looking it up last night, and I'm not sure if it's a standalone bike or if it's a replacement for the 660 or a replacement for the Super Tenere, because it seems to fit somewhere in the middle between the two. So it looks a lot like the 660, but it's got a parallel twin engine. It's only slightly larger than this. It's marketed as the 700, it's actually 689cc. So it's only 29cc more than this one. And they do look the same, but they are slightly different. The new one has a slightly smaller fuel tank combined with twin engine. It does lose about 100 miles off of the tank. Develops a lot more power. The 700 is going to be 72 horsepower. This is 47, I think. It does the job. Due out mid to late 2019 in Europe, and a bit later, maybe into 2020 in America, I think they said. Yeah, it looks interesting. I wouldn't mind having a test ride just to see how it compares, but I don't know anywhere that would do a demo version to have a go on. Anyway, enough of that. Crack on, get to Dunedin. Have a couple of nights there, and then sort of wind our way on into the countryside somewhere. My last big activity, and probably biggest expense, excluding bike stuff. Morning and welcome to Dunedin, a lovely little place on first impressions, and I actually wished I was staying here longer than 2 nights, but alas, I have plans and things that need to get done and places to be, so I can't stay here any longer than 2 nights. Yeah, doubly a shame really, because the campsite was dirt cheap as well, like $25 for 2 nights. And the first place I've been since I left the hostel in Auckland that has unlimited Wi-Fi. And super fast Wi-Fi at that, because I managed to upload 2 videos to YouTube last night that were 3 gigs each, and it took less than an hour to do both. So that's some super duper fast Wi-Fi there, yeah. Even compared to home, you normally have to set it up in the evening and then leave it running all night to get a video up. So yeah, it'd be nice to stay here for like a week and get a load of videos done and uploaded ready to go, but there you go. Biggish town, a lot bigger than I was expecting. So I'm just riding around on the motorbike for a bit, just filled up with petrol, got some shopping. Yeah, a little ride around town, see a couple of bits and then maybe park up and walk into town or something. Don't have any real plans here, but I'd like to see the town because it looks quite nice. Now, as you've probably seen, Dunedin is quite hilly and sort of there are a few steepish roads and good views here and there. And that's why I'm here, because there's one particular street called Baldwin Street, which is quite famous. It's on the other side of town over that way, so better jump on the bike and get going over that way.
toughest year in